I think it's funny how fear is such of the ultimate emotion we have in our lives, and I keep wondering, can you be addicted to a feeling? Just stressed out and not being able to. It's everything, and the bills, the what you didn't do in life, how it just keeps There's so many reminders around you, especially as you get older. But it's not just when you get older either. It's the very first emotion you have in your entire life. When you think about it, when you're born as a baby, you come out screaming out of your mother's womb, just blood curdling scream, fear, because it's the unknown. It's the first time you've seen anything. Your eyes adjust. Pretty much how you're going to go out anyways, right? But oh yeah, welcome to the last great rant. I promise it'll be funnier. It'll be funnier as it goes along. But yeah, I don't know, just sitting and pondering. Yeah. So this Maegan Hall, the police officer, 20-something-year-old police officer from Tennessee, this whole sex scandal thing, man. I know I'm late to the party. I mean, it's been, I think January is when this happened. This whole at least the exposure of the story came out, but now she's like suing back or something like this. I'm looking at the guys involved. These the guys in the uniforms, the locker room tag team session. The participants here, man. Some of these guys, dude, these guys look so, not all, but like they look jacked. I mean, these are the kind of guys that, like, when you go to the gym, if you ever do, and you just starting out on the treadmill, but you look over the CrossFit machine and see the weight area and see these guys are the never smiling, always just lifting weights and just pound for pound. Never ever you'd want to fuck with these guys, but it's just they look like future wrestlers. But I mean, she really, God, I mean, I'm going to be serious here for a little bit. I really hope she doesn't have any children. Like, this is just because of the obvious implications when they get older. I mean, the hell with the therapy shit. I mean, you remember what it was like being a kid. I mean, kids are like ruthless, and I don't care what era you grow up in, they're going to find the most. I mean, I can just see right now when the kids get like, boys or girls or whatever, they get to the age of like, I'd say fifth grade or whatever, even older, it doesn't matter. Junior high, it's just going to be, you could be out like, fucking the cafeteria at lunchtime, and somebody's going to be so like, oh God, yeah. He's like, oh man, yeah, no, she turned you down, man. And I was like, yeah, well, at least my mom's not a skank whore ex-cop, huh? Yeah, not like Jimmy over here. Like, oh man, dude, not to say. I know, that's too easy, man. It's too easy. It's low-hanging fruit. I mean, that's just really going to be the future for like a long time for that. But yeah, this is kind of one of those reasons. This is like, not having children these days is like the new, it's pretty popular. Because having your having your cats and your dogs is just the same, so to speak. You can't see it right now. I'm rolling my eyes. Again, which is starting to hurt at this point with all these story after story. But I mean, yeah, this is one that should, like, encourage. That's like one of the. It's like when you go out. You hear this, like, if you're out like with a cigarette break or whatever, like, well, I'm not planning on having children. I'm like, yeah, good. Yeah, that makes the most sense I've heard all day coming out of your mouth. Some people you meet in life, both men and women. It's just we can go down the across the board on that one. All of the lights are checked, and we are ready for takeoff. Just yeah, do not have any kids. Um, yeah, but dude, this is just yeah. I mean, she looks like the girl next door, sort of. And I'm not trying to be. I mean, the thing is, she does the lawsuit. It's because like she's let go of her position. It's gonna be a while before she finds any stable employment. I don't know what you would go for. And I know she's young, and people joke like she should go on OnlyFans. I'm like, it's not a bad idea. I mean, people joke for a while that that chick was it Rachel Dolezal, the head of the NAACP, it's like African Americans Association over in Washington State, the one that's white and like has been playing the ultimate blackface card for I don't know a lifetime and just putting on uh tanning what is that whatever self tanning ointment or whatever, just tanning and tanning beds, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, you see like that girl there was like, oh, she should strip or whatever like this, and like she actually started doing it. She actually has an OnlyFans account, probably because she can't really get a job, and then once in a while something in racial relations happens to the news, and they call her up. She's like, yeah, we're doing a piece on people race. Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. Can like you put some money in my Venmo account if we could do the story? Yeah, sure. Like that's gonna be a future or whatever. Hopefully most people forget, because I do hear that all the time. Like, you're on the online forever if you take off your clothes. But there's so many of that, there's so much of that going on anyways. So it's like, why would you, unless you're out or, searching for it. But yeah, this girl, Maegan, she's good at like Hall or whatever. Yeah. Her husband, they're good at, let's be honest, the divorce thing that's just a matter of time before her husband, um, finally is getting tired of, just like when you're in school as a child, just the, even as an adult, it can be a bit much, and, yeah, I'm looking at these guys. Jesus Christ. One of these guys here looks like, President Camacho Hernandez from Idiocracy. Uh, you know, um, Shout out to that movie. If you have not seen that movie, it's came out like 2005. I highly recommend watching it because there are things in that movie that have become, it was like an alternate future from like 500 years, but some of it's actually become kind of basically fact, truth, if you read between the lines. I know that they put Crocs came from that movie as like a movie prop for the costume prop for some of the actors in that movie, and um, there as a joke, the director Mike Judge said, "Oh yeah, that looks horrible. Yeah, put those in the movie. That looks great." And then some years later, it became an actual fashion trend, annoying fashion trend, much like the fanny pack. But oh, Miss Hall, oh Maegan, this is just what are we gonna do? And then yeah, just yeah. Won't somebody please think of the children? This is if anything, that one annoying line would factor in and make sense. This would be it. Yeah, don't have children if you have something as detrimental in your working career. Yeah, you can't. How could you ever be taken seriously again? Yeah. So a friend of mine sent in a video clip from Joe Rogan Experience, and I actually like Joe. I think I interesting. I've never really. The show itself is kind of a variety of people it talks to. Most of the time, I'm not really that interested. It's especially when it comes to that like UFC, you know, um, sports stuff. The Ultimate Fighting Championship stuff. It's not my. It's really not my wheelhouse. But like, I still. But then again, he'll make anything interesting. He'll talk to a guy that like some guy's obsessed with mushrooms and makes everything out of mushrooms and talks about its properties and how they can heal anything. Um, no, but he was talking about this. He was talking to this one football player guy who was a NFL, Derek Wolf, I think is, and they're talking about past life kind of shit and the spirituality stuff, which I it's fun. I don't. I don't necessarily take it seriously, but the way this guy was talking about, he was taking a some light treatment therapy, and he had like 3 sessions, and somehow you go into like a hypnosis or whatever. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding it. Later, really don't go into detail. I just saw the clip, but anyways, he talks about like where he had this. I guess the therapist is like guiding him or whatever, and he's like this alternate reality where he's like some Viking warrior chief or something, and he's um, supposed to be married to some Viking woman and ends up getting killed. It doesn't matter, but like it was very much like the plot to a movie, and it sounded pretty sexy. And I think about I've always been obsessed with World War II, like ever since I was a kid, and I was kind of thinking about the same. This guy was having a therapy thing, kind of relating it, like you know, probably possibly his lineage, like it's connected somehow. And I mean, for me, I've always been obsessed since I was a child, and I don't even know the reason why. Um, but the thing is, I've even had a therapist in the past. I've had, when I talk about this stuff, and she's asked me like, well, is there anything like, do you have anybody that's in the military or whatever? I'm like, not really. I mean, and it's mostly been the German side. Like I've always been interested about like the warfare and just the technology, sexy uniforms. Just kind of like the whole. I mean, it's a pretty interesting time where all this like technology and political ideology mixing together. It was just I've always found it fascinating since I can remember. But I don't have any. I'm a half Persian fuck, and my mom's from like the South. I mean, there's some German. Yeah, but that's not the same. But um, I kind of thought about like this guy here talks about like being a Viking warrior and being it's like, and he's trying to link it maybe to a faraway past, and I love that kind of stuff, but here's the reality: you got to allow for uh other realities too. Like if I had a past life, you know, it's the past lives anybody brings up. It's always sexy shit. Oh, I was a king in King Arthur's court, or I was like the I was an Egyptian uh warlord or whatever. It's just I'm a Caesar. I'm a shaman. It's never really any you know um I'm a baker's apprentice who just burnt too many loaves of bread or whatever. It's never what you gotta allow for some of this stuff. Like if there's past lives, there's also past lives for like bullshit jobs. Whatever the equivalent of, office worker, cubicle, corporate bitch of today must have existed back in like, the medieval times, or even the 1800s, wagon wheel in the Oregon Trail, just getting hit by Indians, and like, oh, this guy's gonna fight, but Kyle over here, well, he's not really good with the rifle. Yeah, what does he do? Accounting. Like, oh God, just counting like, how much food we have left before we starve and get killed by, natives, or if we die from some cool disease. So, it's a lot like my whole like theory on like, horror movies that take place in like haunted houses. And the houses always look beautiful, by the way. It's like this 1930s architecturally built, it's they got a basement. They don't have those anymore. But I mean, yeah, but the idea is that you've heard of a haunted house, right? But you've never heard of a haunted apartment complex. And I'll never forget, I watched the movie Sinister, like 2014 or whatever, by myself, and I kept watching, and it just dawned on me like, oh, I'll be fine. I'm not gonna be haunted. Like, not that I've ever really believed in ghosts, or any of that shit, or let alone past life. That's really pushing it. I think again, it's fun. It's you don't take it too seriously. It's like the guy that talks about the JFK assassination, and it's like, well, how far did the reach go? The government was the mafia. It's like, who gives a shit? The guy's barely interesting. I mean, they called him like American royalty. the Kennedys and the, I'm like, I get every generation has its heroes and idols and bullshit. But yeah, it's not this. Again, it's fun. I get it, especially when you're an adult. You can't, you can't play with toys anymore. You can't play with your, Legos, your lightsabers. Well, apparently you can. I don't know. You ever met like a software engineer? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, those people, the people that would go to Comic Con and get into it a little way too much. There, just like all this time you spent on your costume, like you could have got like management or what. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, no, I love it. I love the pretend thing, but like this guy was like, even Rogan's kind of like, wow, maybe there's something to it, some inherited, um, ancestry and maybe in some cases there is some weird, there is some weird thing. There's, some footage I saw one time back in the 80s of a woman, from Russia bending a spoon with her mind, supposedly. Although, I don't know. I think the spoon was like made like painted metal, and it just, I don't know, had something in it kind of like to make it bend. Probably made out of like gummy bear material, but whatever. Anyways, but you get the idea. Yeah, past lives. Give me a break. Yeah, Jesus. Oh, that reminds me. I think later tonight when I go meet up with the guys, probably dress up as Cleopatra. So it's not too far along ago. That would be. That's like one of those things. You dress up like that. It's just like it used to be. Not too long ago, you would say like, "Oh man, he's lost it, man. His wife leave him." Like, I don't know. Oh god, the job didn't work out. But now it's just like, oh, he's finally coming out. Well, I guess he's brave, or she's brave. But yeah, it's God. I mean, it's not just. It's just so much more softer now. With everything. It's if it's not one thing or another, um, or it's another. It just it, it seems like everybody's just going trying to be younger in the worst way as possible. I mean, nobody takes anything seriously anymore. I kind of looked at just I mean, YouTube has gotten soft now to a new point where I can't even, um, you know, got it's like basic cable. We can't go back. I have to probably find something else. You can't say things that are funny to me, like Hitler is the ultimate influencer, um, you know, or whatever, or just jokes about you know. I was trying to explain to a woman the other day who was like kind of naive about life and nursing, and she didn't know what the words like. She didn't know what a golden shower was or a rusty trombone is. And I refuse to. I have respect for her and her husband, but like I couldn't go down that road. But that was going to be. But these are like adult conversations. But I can't. I can't. But these queefs I hang out with, they really just are for like the dad shit, dad jokes, pun jokes about, uh, you know, talking about, I don't know. I mean, it never fucking ends. But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can compete with now. I think, if I get a career as a crisis actor, that'd be great. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm just like most of my tastes. I'm just going backwards now. Just going Die Hard and stuff. Total Recall and anything with Schwarzenegger, Jean Claude Van Damme. I'm even going further. Like people are like, well, you're just clinging on the things that you knew. You're nostalgic. Like, no, I'm going backwards. That's yeah. There's no progression over here. I mean, yeah. Somebody told me to watch this movie called or series called The Expanse. I just started rolling my eyes the first 5 minutes in this sci-fi bullshit. I can't get into it. It's just not. It doesn't. It just feels pretentious already. There's no authenticity. Although I will say this, I hate sci-fi. I really do. I just don't. I don't get it. But I did watch the newest Dune movie, and by newest I mean I think last year it came out. And I did enjoy that. It was really well done. That was. I'll give that one a pass. Like there were some things I didn't understand. I guess the fighting scenes in that one. They use knives, even though they have like some spaceships and a huge laser ray gun cannon thing coming from the sky, tearing up the desert. You know, looking for what's a Trace or whatever. He's the prince, and then there's the sandworms, and then the rebels hiding out in the sand. I don't know. It's all. I mean, let's be honest. It's an allegory for colonialism and Native Americans. Just happens to be kind of a alternate universe of Saudi Arabia, just with just huge creatures and um, things up their nose to breathe and weird blue eyes. I get it, but it was other than just them fighting with swords. It doesn't make any or like spears and shit. I'm like. I don't know. Somebody tried to explain this to me. Well, they have the personal shields or fight shields. Their aura or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I did enjoy it. The acting was not like overly obnoxious. It's really hard to find something like that. But like I try to give everything kind of a try. But again, you're talking to a guy that just like again, I'm going backwards more. I'm going to stuff I'm watching stuff I've never even seen before. Like All in the Family, Archie Bunker. This guy was on television before I was born. And I gotta tell you, this guy, it's it's like a god to me. I've watched that show over and over and over, and like even the jokes oh my god, they're being racist. I'm like, no, you fucking dumb mongoloids. They're making fun of racism. Do you not see the difference? The whole show is about an older man that's just like things are changing, the neighborhood is changing, which I love using that is the most racist thing you could ever say, and it's a lot better than using any kind of racial slur, saying like oh yeah, the neighborhood's changing, look who's moving in, that kind of stuff. That's a lot more, and it's fun racism too. I mean, if you say it the right way. But um yeah, I mean, I even want to watch some of like the Red Fox stuff. I'm not um or Good Times maybe. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, it's just there's nothing going on now. Everything's just really I don't want to say like nothing's going on. There are some films that are becoming more and more they're not more they're not getting the attention they need. I love more of the art house stuff. So that movie with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, the Banshees of Inisherin. I fucked up that it's Gaelic. Give me a break. But that movie was really great. That movie was just I love the concept of it. Just not getting along was like somebody you've known for like 20 years, Irish town, nothingness. I've talked about it before, but they're just in a pub and you know you literally live in a town of like 10 people, and like one day you just don't want to talk to somebody because like well, I don't want to give it away, but that was worth a watch. Got nominated in the Academy Awards, but didn't. Of course, didn't win because what? Um, because it went to well, the best actor went to like Brendan Fraser. Um, I was gonna say Brendan Gleeson again, but Brendan Fraser plays the whale. The story about a 400 pound, obese white guy uh, that is dying because he's fat. I didn't watch it, and I'll be honest, I don't have any desire to. But like, just like every 5 minutes, it's like, oh my god, he's so brave to play that role, being a guy that can't get out of his chair. And it's, yeah, I thought like bravery was, some poor school teacher from Kiev fighting against the Russians. But anyways, neither here nor there. But yeah, backwards is like where I want to go. I sooner or later I'll get to the honeymooners or something like that. But I might even go back to like books or something. But yeah, definitely. So I mean, it's nothing new. It's just the way it's carried out. Yeah. I mean, it's. I know it sounds like I'm just. It makes me sound like I'm insane. I'm going insane, but I think I am. I mean, all kind of reminds me of like, I'll give an example. It reminds me of this goofy bitch here from here in Portland, who years ago started hugging therapy as a thing. She started out on this show back in 2013, America's Got Talent. That's how I first saw her, and just had a couch and invited one of the judges just to lay with her and cuddle. No sexual stuff, no making out, just holding. And for like 8 years, she had a clinic where people came and just laid with her. Um, and by the way, if you're wondering, not hot. Uh, yeah, I mean, this is just kind of the way it is. And, it's stuff like this that we're running out of um, like feelings, you know? Uh, but it's it's boredom again. I keep saying this is boredom on a mass. This is like, when you were a kid and you waited to see the doctor or the dentist, even worse, because you could hear the drilling from the teeth in the next the room nearby, and um it was gonna happen. But like you didn't. It was also like you retreated in your head the while you were waiting. Like you had an imagination. Now it's just everybody's brain is fried. You can't. There's nothing interesting anymore. I mean, it's the same kind of thing for a child, but now it's for adults. Remember those things called fidget spinners? They sold like little tiny plastic 3-pronged like little car toy tires or whatever, and those are the fidgets. You guys remember this, right? I know I'm not making this up. I mean, and that was just like over 10 years ago, and it's only going to get worse. Um, I really thought this war in the Ukraine would be the answer. I thought this would go ahead and we could send over our rainbow flag friends and just anybody in between and all, and we're just gonna just grow people the fuck up. I mean, nothing makes you more believe in God and a sense of living when it matters than a good old fashioned world war. Um, in the beginning I was kind of against it, but you know that was over a year ago, and now it's already been people are bored already with that shit. It's like, and that's the cultural difference, over there. They're not, I mean, it's, they have to live it every day, not me. Um, I get to wake up and complain about inflation, but still pay a couple extra bucks for my, you know, McDonald's breakfast burrito. But it's something that, it should have, that's historically the best. I mean, yeah, especially with this, the people talking about population growth, how they saw that. What's the two biggest things that take care of that? War and disease. I mean, we had the corona. Now we have this one. It's like, it's almost like preordained. Like, I don't want to believe in the Illuminati or some like conspiratorial thing, but that's a lot of fun. I mean, after a while, one does, kind of. give it a thought here and there. I mean, what is that group, the Fed, which most people think, oh, it's the federal government when they give the loan and to the government, U.S. government. It's not actually a federal government. It's like the what is it? The Rothschilds, the high, really higher echelon, rich of rich who kind of made this country. There's like a book called Jackal Island I've heard about, which is like off the coast of New York, where like some of the richest families met back in like I think 1921, 22. Yeah, and you had like this is like Rockefellers, this is Rothschilds, and um, they met there and they were talking about how they were going to go ahead and create the Fed to loan the money when they need to be. It's also the same year I think the IRS was made. So I mean, I don't know. There's just that's just fun. Look it up, maybe or not. Not go nuts with that, but um, the kids will love it. It's just a good old fashioned, uh, you know, sitting around the campfire kind of talk. Beats ghost stories. Yeah, it's just I guess the world grew up, huh? I don't know how to take it anymore. Yeah, God, I miss the '90s. Clinton was in office. 9/11 didn't happen yet. I mean, Coca-Cola had more fizz in it. Everything tasted better. I mean, it's just I guess that's what it is. Every time you like everybody gets longs for the past, I just one of the things I've noticed recently also is people get like the idea of assault when somebody gets hit or punched. Um that's I mean, I just saw a guy like, in a plane push a woman over into first class because, she was in his fat ass way or whatever. And it's just like, that's assault. I'm like, nah, that's not assault. That's not assault. I mean, if there's like, if there's pools of blood on the floor, okay, that's probably assault. It's just, yeah, I don't, yeah, God, it's just, yeah, I weep for a time that I wasn't even born in yet. I mean, fuck the '90s, man. I'll take the '50s. Whatever, Don Draper was doing with the old fashions and better way of dressing and um, yeah, I don't think you really had airplane flights back then that were um, you know, lot. Yeah, I don't think that there was too many brawls. Well, I mean that's the thing though, is everybody back then was like to fly a plane to get on a plane flight, like you had to make some kind of money. You had to be middle class. Now it's just, dude, it is public transportation in the sky. All right, yeah. Don't fool yourself, and you got to keep your mouth shut. And yeah, the words no, fly, and list come up together. Yeah, I don't know. Miss my time. I guess my past life. I'd rather take a past life of you know uh yeah, a patent clerk in like Oklahoma than a past life of like today. Anyway, yeah. Sorry if I seem like I'm off my game this week with this episode. Kind of have two things haunting me right now. Actually, today, being Wednesday, going into Thursday, I was expecting to hear a reply about a job offer, and I was told by the agent, the staffing agent woman, that they're going to want one more day to think about it, considering their options or whatever. And that's neither here nor there. Whatever, I don't really care. But I'm also dealing with it's a memorial service for a friend of mine that passed away last July, and his birthday was this week. It's supposed to be this Saturday. Still thinking about what to do about that, but yeah, good guy. His name was Aaron. Knew him for a long time. It's we were roommates for like 4 years, but even before that, we knew each other for a long time. It's I hadn't spoken to him for a while, and then got a phone call last July, and found out he passed away. It was an overdose on fentanyl, and it's I mean, let me put it this way: this was a guy that, like most of us, we were a fan of our drink, and did some stupid shit in his past, but nothing this hardcore. I mean, that's it doesn't matter how much time goes by. It's been over, it's been half a year or so, and every time I think about it, it just don't know the reason why. When we found out he was admitted to the hospital and he was put on life support, and I guess he's comatose or whatever, and you never know if it's intentional or not, or why it happened. I mean, it still kind of hurts that, but you hear rumors. I heard the rumors that he was like going through a breakup with his ex-wife or something. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Like look, we're all paying, but man, it's just this fentanyl thing. That's kind of like, man, you think some of that shit is just like, well, there's certain kind of people that do that kind of shit. Like a certain, like, I'll be honest, I kind of like poor people down in the deep heart of the city that does that kind of shit. But it could be anybody, and that sounds cliche as it is, and I still don't know what made him do it. But anyways, yeah, that's neither here nor there. But I was thinking about I'm ending this way kind of on a sour note, but I didn't want to begin this episode like that at all. So anyways, hope you guys take that in consideration, and also for your loved ones, your family, gonna end off with this, like, just be a little bit genuine. Just, we don't have a lot of time, we really don't. So it's what matters to you, savor it, really let it sink in, or take a moment here and there. Can't all be just about, waking up to be at work at 7 a.m. and so on, rushing and planning 3 or 4 days ahead what something's going to happen, pay bills, or, something to look for. I mean, just even the quiet moments, just don't let it get beyond you.